Creators. This is Elle Beecham coming to you from the car on a Friday. But I am the creator as well as the owner of Elevate Movement, which is a naturopathic approach to healing and mental health. So while a lot of therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists recommend Western medicine, prescription drugs, and things of that nature, my methodologies are very, very different and non-traditional. So I approach mental health from an innovative but also a naturopathic approach. So with that being said, the purpose of my video today, I listened to a podcast the other day, and it was 3 gentlemen on the panel. Very nice looking guys. They had all played, like professional football. They were in serious relationships, but a lot of them struggled just getting through stigmas and, trashing like traditional values and what manhood and things like that look like. Growing up, some of them grew up in 2-parent homes, while one gentleman grew up in a single-parent home. So they have really fresh and great perspectives on life in general, and I just love the show. Well, they talked about relationships and how it looks different, from day to day. And immediately I thought about, there are no breaks in relationships. Like, we don't get to decide that today I'm checking out. When you commit yourself to a relationship, in a perfect world, you have said, you know what, I've checked in with myself financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. I'm able to avail myself to the other person. That's in a perfect world. Do we go through this assessment on a regular basis when we enter into covenant and relationship with people? Probably not. But should we? Absolutely. At this stage in my life, I constantly check in with myself to see where I am. Do I have space for a new friendship? Do I have space for a new person in my life? Is there something, that I want to work on or clear up before I invite another person into my space and territory, right? And I'm talking about my temple, my tomb. Am I in a place or a position where I can open it up and expose somebody to it, and I expose myself to them? But every single day, when you clock into work, when you sign on for work, if you work from home, your workload is probably the same every single day, depending on what you do. You might have a system. As soon as you clock in, you might check emails. You may, see if you missed anything, if there's anything urgent or pressing that you need to respond to and put out some fires immediately. Are there any, managerial tasks that you have to see about before you get your day started? We have a process when we check into work, when we clock into work. That's the same thing we have to do in relationship. We got to check in with our partner. We got to show up every day. We have to be present every day. We have to meet the need. But the biggest thing is not necessarily checking in and being present. That's the problem. But understanding that 100% doesn't look the same every day. But I got to be there. So every day, if you want your 2-week check, or however you get paid, if you want to be compensated for the services that you've provided for the company or given the company, you got to show up. You don't get paid when you don't work, whether you're salary or not. It's only so many vacation days in FMLA that they are going to pay before it's like, you know what? No, you don't get paid because you are consistently absent from work. It's the same thing in relationship. Your person is not going to feel the same, be checked in, be as excited, be as high, be as loved, be as sensual, and all of that if they're not being loved properly. So we got to think what's required to keep that continuum going. What's required to keep the momentum? And the requirement is we don't get breaks. We got to check in every single day. We got to do some temperature checks. We got to continue to date. We got to continue to compliment. We have to continue to love. We have to continue to buy gifts. romance, be intimate. And intimacy isn't always sexual, but reaching over to hold hands while you're driving in the car, random kisses, random I love yous, little post-it notes, little thank yous, cards in the mail. Even if you stay at the same address, send that person something in the mail. Send an email, with a little sweet nothing. Send a text message, hey, I was just thinking about you and wanted to send you some flowers today. We can absolutely do so many things to remain checked in. Try some new things sexually. Have different conversations. Have stimulating conversations. Some people are mentally stimulated, and that means that they want to talk about certain things. And it's not necessarily the topics of conversation, but it is the level of intimacy that is involved in the conversation. So how you feel about it. If you guys are talking about investing, or you're talking about cooking or recipes, or like your favorite date, then once the conversation kind of goes to an end, just add this is how I feel about it. It makes me feel really connected to my person when we do X, Y, and Z. Or I really enjoy this when I'm doing this with my partner. So I just wanted to stop by to encourage us today, just by saying there are no breaks in relationship. Like, we don't get to check out of a relationship because we have a bad day or a not so good day. We will find that if we remain checked in the relationship, it'll even shift our mood if we're not being stubborn. If we surrender to the process, it will shift us. Like receiving the love, giving the love, being loved, it'll shift your mood. But you have to surrender. You have to be open to the process. You have to be a willing vessel. So until my next video, elevators, this is Elle Beacham, and I'm signing out.